A very good Monday morning, everyone, from Southeast Asia. It's Chang here, recording this video some 20 hours before kickoff against Leicester City, sometime around Sunday midnight, I think, over there in the UK. It's 7 a.m. here in Southeast Asia, and I honestly cannot wait to get our season well underway when we take on Leicester City in around 20 hours from now. The news filtering out from the Spurs camp is that Destiny Udogie will feature at some point in the match, whether he's going to be starting, coming off the bench, or even just partaking in warm-up and not even making it into the squad is something entirely up to Big Ange. But exciting news for all Spurs fans to find out that the availability of Destiny Udogie is certainly on the cards, as is a certain Wilson Odobier, if that's how his name is pronounced. Wilson Odobier, who was announced mere hours before the kickoff between United and Fulham on Friday. That was completely out of the blue, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does feature too in the match against Leicester City, whether it's straight off the bench or even just part of the travelling squad to Leicester and having a warm-up with the lads, or even some sort of debut or even unveiling to the away fans. That would be certainly something to look forward to. But yeah, Will Beer signed mere hours before the Premier League season opener between United and Fulham. That's got some Spurs fans excited. Although it does beg the question, why wasn't he signed much earlier on in the transfer window? Kind of like Solanke, if the funds were there, if the player was available to sign the moment the transfer window opened, why wasn't Solanke and this Wilson Odobier signed much earlier on and given a proper preseason? The rest of the lads during the summer remains unanswered. Maybe Big Ange has these answers for us during his press conference, whether it's pre-match or post-match conference. We'll never know for certain until he answers questions like this. But yeah, I think it's apart from maybe Udogie, which I mentioned earlier, and Odobier, and maybe even Bentancur, if he is fully fit to take part in the match against Leicester City. I think we have a fully fit squad to choose from. I mean, in goal it's going to be Vicario for sure, and the back four would consist of Van der Ven, Romero, and Podro, with the left back slot maybe up for grabs. I mean, last season we saw Oliver Skip jeopardized there, and as I am recording this message, news has been filtering out from the Spurs camp as well that an agreement has been struck between Spurs and Leicester City. So of Oliver Skip to Leicester City for what, £20 million or so. So I think Leicester City are going to have another one of our own midfielders in the form of Oliver Skip, who will be partnering Harry Winks in midfield for Leicester City. Although whether or not Oliver Skip will ever face us in the reverse fixture at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that remains to be seen as well too. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who fills in at left back for Spurs now that Oliver Skip has more or less confirmed his transfer to Leicester City. So my guess is that Mickey Van der Ven is going to fill in at left back if Radu Dragushin will fill in for him at left centre back, which leaves Romero at right centre back, and of course Pedro Porro at right back. Although it wouldn't also surprise me if Jet Spence is given the debut, his first full senior debut, I think, for Spurs, if he's ever featured for us at all under Conte in the league. It will be exciting to see Jet Spence given some time, some game time that is. if he is preferred to Porro at right back, assuming that this Porro is going to be pushed further higher up the pitch at right midfield, I think, if that's where he's going to be featuring for most of the season for us. But yeah, interesting problems to have at Spurs, interesting selections too for Big Ange to make. And for the midfield especially, I feel it's going to be one of those, anyone might just get a chance to feature for Spurs at midfield, because Maddison hasn't really lived up to his expectations during pre-season, whether it's the Asia tour in Japan and Korea, whether it's Bentancur getting back to full match fitness after his Copa America exploits, which didn't go down too well with some Spurs fans. If you have seen those clips of him doing what he did after the third round placing match in the Copa America, that threw up some uncertainties about his future at Spurs. But apart from Kulusevski and Pepe Matasar and Evan Bergvall, I think only Maddison and Bentancur are the unsure players whether or not they're going to be featuring against Leicester City. Personally, for me, I would like to see a midfield tree of Pepe Matasar, Kulusevski beside him, and possibly even Lucas Bergvall playing in the number 8 role, number 10 role. That depends also on Big Ange. He intends to utilize and deploy Lucas Bergvall this season, and if he is given his full debut for Spurs against Leicester City, it wouldn't come as a surprise for me, given how he's performed and how he's progressed with the squad throughout pre-season and during the friendlies. But yeah, that would be my preferred midfield tree of Pepe Matasar, Kulusevski and Bergvall as a midfield tree. For the front three, for forward front three, I think Dominic Solanke and Son Heung-min are nil-on starters, assuming that Richarlison isn't going to be getting the nod ahead of Solanke in our Premier League opener against Leicester City. On the right wing, I think it's anyone's guess whether it's going to be Brennan Johnson there, or if Odebeer is even going to, squeeze in the same way Mickey van der Ven did himself last season, if you remember, when we signed Mickey van der Ven just days before our opening league campaign, where we drew 2-2 in our opening away fixture, where Romero, I think, was taken off as a precaution after opening the scoring for us. Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see who starts for us in right wing, although again it could also be Kulusevski in right wing, assuming that Brennan Johnson is still going to merely feature as our super sub for this season if Big Ange feels that he's not ready to start matches for us just yet. So we could also be seeing a midfield tree of Pepe Matasar, Lucas Bergvall and Maddison if Kulusevski is going to feature on right wing, which then leaves Brennan Johnson on the bench, and that would be my preferred starting 11 with Vicario in goal, then the Van, Romero, Porro and Dragushin, our back four. And then there will be Pepe Matasar, Lucas Bergvall and Kulusevski in midfield, assuming that it's going to be Kulusevski midfield and not out on the right wing, which would then leave Johnson, Solanke and Son as our front three. So I'm fully excited for our season to properly get underway. I am more than buzzing to see the lads back on the pitch again when we get our campaign underway after every other club has already played their first round of fixtures, featuring the wins for United, City, Woolwich, and also Villa. And let's see whether we can go one better than Chelsea, who lost away at City, or rather they lost at home. I think Chelsea lost at home to City, sorry. So let's hope for all 3 points.